some gun law in the Kirk. How's everyone doing? Hi, Tennessee. How you doing? I know what you guys are saying. What the hell is an attorney from the People's Republic of Washington doing up here? What does this guy know about gun rights? I'm going to try to teach you a couple things. I only have a few minutes today, and I want to talk to a lot of you who comment on some of my YouTube videos and tell me why did I just waste 8 minutes of my life? It's really just as simple as 4 words. Shall not be infringed. Is it really that simple? That's what we're going to talk about, because what I hope to do is to confuse you for a few moments and then clarify, because it is far more complicated than that, but the solution that we as gun owners need to have, I think, is actually much more simple than those 4 shall not be infringed. So what I'll do, for those of you who geek out on my channel, you will know that I talked about this, but I kind of want to go back and take a look at the year in review and see just how much did the Second Amendment actually save your skins this year. Let's talk about Cargill v. Garland, bump stop ban. Tremendous Second Amendment win, right? Yeah, except that the Second Amendment was never in that opinion. There's not a single part of Cargill opinion that says it's unconstitutional because it violates your Second Amendment. No, it was actually decided on plain old statutory interpretation, or what we sometimes call field school English. You guys heard of the case NRA v. Bulow? It was a case that actually came down. The NRA got a 9-0 before the United States Supreme Court. This was, think about that. The NRA won 9-0. Even Justice Brown Jackson voted in favor of the NRA. A huge Second Amendment win, right? Nope. It had everything to do with the First Amendment. State of New York had gone out and basically strong-armed a bunch of companies in doing business with the NRA. The Supreme Court got their hands on it and said this violates commercial speech, which is protected by the First Amendment. As a matter of fact, if you guys want to go back and take a look at what happened during the Supreme Court in the last few months, this past year, you're going to find out that there is only one case that ever cited the Second. What case is that? It's the United States v. Rahimi. How'd they do our case? Not too well. Now, the ruling itself was not unexpected. There's been a long tradition in this country of disarming individuals that we believe to be dangerous. But the ruling's horrible because they included, Justice Roberts, who wrote the majority opinion, included all sorts of problematic language in their opinion. One of the more poorly written opinions, I think is well reasoned, but poorly written. And we're going to see that language talked about over and over and over, relevantly similar, closest good enough, things like that. You take a look at the other case, Local Private Enterprises versus Vermont. That was a big case, had to do with the fishing industry, but it did away with the Chevron deference. Did the Second Amendment play any part of that? No. It was the separation of powers that actually saved the day there. So you can see that many of you think it's as simple as 4 words, shall not be infringed. There actually is quite a few moving parts. There's a lot of things that go into defending what was supposed to be an inalienable right. Let's talk about the beating ATF has taken over the last year or so. Because they have taken a beating. Let's talk about the rules on frames and receivers. I actually have a video out right now. It came out this morning in the Firearms Policy Coalition's opening brief. Is that issue going to be with the Second Amendment? No, it's not. It's the Administrative Procedure Act that's going to save the day there. A piece of legislation that was written in 1946. The pistol brace rule. Probably no rule that I spent more time geeking out on my channel than the pistol brace rule. And I want to thank the ATF because they probably gave me an 100,000 subscribers due to that ridiculous rule. That rule is all but dead. Second Amendment saved the day, didn't it? No, it didn't. Because once again, it was the Administrative Procedure, a piece of legislation written 1 year after World War II. A piece of legislation that was designed to actually rein in government agencies because somebody way back in 1946 thought, boy, these government agencies may run a little bit out of control. Many of you are also familiar with the fallout from the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act. And now that we have a new rule from the ATF that puts you to be engaged in the business of being an FFL. Translation, all of you guys are FFLs. That's what the ATF wants. That rule is currently enjoined for large swaths of the country. Second Amendment saved the day, it didn't. No, it didn't. Once again, it was the Administrative Procedure So the moral of the story is this, is that for all of you who think that this never-ending battle to save your gun rights is founded exclusively and solely in the Second Amendment, the truth of the matter is not. There's many, many legislative schemes and many, many legal principles that will be used to defend what is supposed to be a God-given, unalienable right. So, is it more complicated than just those 4 words? Actually, I think it's even easier. I'm going to sum it up for you in 1 word, because this is how we win the battle. Vote. Let me give you an example. And then I'm going to actually have all of you, I'm going to call it actual all of you. Gunlaw Jr., my boys are around here somewhere, and right there, and he's my productions manager. Let's hear it for Gunlaw Jr. there. We were doing a road trip, and I said, hey, by the way, there's this article I saw in the New York Post that talked about how many lawful, responsible gun hunters in the United States were not registered to vote. And I said, look it up real quick and tell me the number. When he told me the number, I damn near drove the car off the road. It was 10 million. Let me say that again. There is 10 million lawful, responsible gun owners and or hunters in the United States right now that are not registered to vote. I just did a panel discussion about an hour ago where we were talking about how do we win this battle? How do we win this battle? We win this battle by winning in the ballot box. We don't have to fight anymore if we win in the ballot box. And let me tell you just how dangerous this lack of participation is. I got some numbers here. They're a little shocking. Pennsylvania. By the way, I saw an article yesterday that said the road to President making it back to the White House goes through Pennsylvania. But that's going to be the state they're really focusing on. 515,000 plus licensed or lawful gun owners in the state of Pennsylvania that don't vote. The states of Georgia, Wisconsin, Missouri, Virginia all have over 500,000 people who fit into that category who are not registered to vote. Michigan and North Carolina each have over 370,000 voters that are not registered to vote. Now, Pennsylvania, Michigan, North Carolina, Georgia, Wisconsin, and Virginia, how many of those states ever come up when we're talking about national elections? Every single one of them. The state of Montana, not the most populated state in the country, has 52,000 gun owners that are not registered to vote. How much would just half of them make a difference? And the biggest reason that people gave for not being registered to vote is, I think the system is rigged, and I think that my vote doesn't count. And I know some of you think that way too. But you know who else doesn't think your vote counts? Is the other side. They don't think your vote counts. They don't think your style of life counts. They don't think anything counts. They disregard you, but the problem is many of you disregard yourself. Now, I know all of you because you're here and you're active. You're going to get in ballot box and you're going to vote. But all of you have friends, you have relatives, you have colleagues that don't vote. The only way that we're going to truly win this battle is to actually start voting. And for those of you who think the system is rigged, the system is rigged. It is. But a lot of people think that we spend all our time figuring that they're rigging the way they're counting the ballots. They don't rig it the way they count the ballots. They don't. That's what they do. My state of Washington, we just pulled out on the voter a 2-bedroom Rambler that had 172 people registered to vote at one address. That's how they're cheating. So in the last 20 seconds that I got left, all of you are lawful and responsible gun owners. All of you value and cherish your life, your family's life, and your way of life. Get out there and engage in the process. Go out there. Get people to vote. You know who they are. You gotta tell them. Your vote counts. Take a look at Brandon Herrera's race, 23rd legislative district in Texas. We lose by 354 votes. Just think if they would have spent one day, 400 people to register. So, get out there and vote. Get out there and vote. It's a lot more complicated than shall not be infringed, but it's as simple as go out and vote. Thank you very much, and all of you. Stay safe.
district of Brandon Herrera had hundreds of thousands that chose not to vote, by the way. Now, next guest speaker, I'm excited to bring, I mentioned him earlier, he's coming back to the stage. He's great at those 60-second gun using, because a lot of us, like myself, have probably I don't want to spend a whole lot of time watching a lot of videos, even though I do that for a living. It's kind of ironic. I'm very excited to bring, from the Gun Collective, John Patton to the stage.
Hi. How's everybody doing? Do I have to look like a politician, or are you guys cool if I wander a bit? Okay, thank you. Are you guys having a good time? Yeah. You know, I'm very fortunate. I've been doing unrelated media for about 13 years of my life. And there's been one thing that sticks with me the entire time. And that is the question that I get asked more than anything else, is what do I do to help win the fight? Because we have been battling for many decades, right? And I think the hardest part is understanding how you can fit into this battle, right? Raise your hand if you have questions yourself. What can I do? Right, everybody is having that question. And I think the thing that we all need to consider is that you don't have to do the big media stuff. You don't have to have the YouTube channel to make a difference. You don't have to have your own gun rights organization to win small battles. And that's what it takes to win this war that we are constantly fighting against the people that look us up our gun rights. Do you agree? Right? These people are coming at us every single day, and they're saying, I want your guns, I want disarm, and I want you subservient to what I want. They want us doing what they want. Is that right? And now how do we fight? We get involved. So, you come here, you learn about things, you have conversations with people. You start to go, well, if that guy can do that thing, if John can be on the stage, if I stand up here and just be a regular dude and say, hey, I'm going to make a difference today, you do that too. Would you agree? Yeah. One more time. Yeah. So what I think you can do is take somebody to the range. How many of you have done the last month? Taking people to the range is one of the biggest things that we could possibly do, right? There are many state-level organizations. How many of you are even aware of what your state-level organizations are? Right? That's not everybody. I saw maybe a third of the hands go up. Everybody talks about the federal level. That's only part of this. Like, yes, the Harris administration would be an absolute freaking disaster for us. They actively want to strip you of your rights. They, you know, the old phrase, we're not coming fence, they've thrown that out. The goalposts have been moved. And we need to fight them at every level where they are fighting us, and in some cases winning. So I think get involved in your state-level organizations, actually go be a participant, share something on social media from them. I mean, goodness gracious, the battle that we all face, just trying to get a regular post out. GOA faces it, faces every single one of our content creator friends, faces every gun brand that's here. We all are behind the 8 ball because they want us silenced, right? So, sharing that, just doing these little free things that virtually no time is part of how we win this battle. This is not something that can be done without everybody moving in the same direction. It is so difficult to get everybody to do the same thing because we're all dedicated, independent people, self-supporting people, right? We're not looking to have the government help us, right? Yeah, I don't want that. I don't believe in that. So we have to move in the same direction. So you start at your local, your state level, and then of course you get into supporting, like you are right now, GOA. How many of you are life members of GOA? That is not enough. That's not enough. I mean, it sounds challenging. Right? You go, I maybe don't have the money, or I don't have the time. And the answer is yes, you do. Because if you don't prioritize keeping your Second Amendment rights, we're done. We're done. I was very fortunate to stand in a room with somebody that works with President Trump last night. Very fortunate to have that ability to him. And I put my eyes on Donald Trump saying, I want to support the Second Amendment. And in the past, I have been very skeptical of such things. 100% skeptical. However, at this point in time, we do not have another option. So, the other thing that we can be doing that is very cost-effective to do, and like the previous speaker said, you go vote. And it's not hard. They make it easy, right? Right? Voting's not hard. Raise your hand if you think it's difficult to go vote. Nobody. Not a single person yet. Every time we have an election, the Second Amendment is not the thing that leads us to victory. We're complacent in that, and it is now time, this election, and I'm not a political guy. I don't run around going, oh, the sky is falling. We have to, oh, this is the worst thing. I don't do that. This is not how I operate. However, it looks like the sky is starting to crack. That's what's real here. When the opposing force is saying daily that they want to strip us of our rights and unravel the seams of America, we got to do something. And maybe you don't agree with whoever is in office, but I swear to you, in this case, we kind of don't have another option. So what are you guys going to do in November? Okay. We're going to vote. We're going to vote in the same direction. And I hate that kind of stuff. I hate it. Oh, it hurts my soul because I want you to have free choice. I don't want to tell you who to vote for. But I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm telling you to vote for the Second Amendment. That's what we need to do. Am I right? Yeah. It's not every day that I get a chance to speak to this many people and have that type of conversation all at once. It's not every day. But I do want you all to know that I value each and every one of you for spending some time with me this afternoon, just giving me that time and being willing to listen to what I have to say. We'll see you at the polls in November.
I'm excited about this next panel because we're going to be talking about a topic that I have true passion behind, gun culture in America. For this panel, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our members. We welcome Christopher Allen, a.k.a. Woodman. I promise it's coming. It's a long flight of stairs. Right, Chris? Or Paul Glasgow. We got Paul Glasgow leading on America. We have Harry Sloan from We the Female. Rachel Reed, aka Rapid Fire Rachel. Sir Michael Singleton from Guns Out TV. And we've got Virginia State Delegate Nick Fragus. Moderating this, because I have such passion behind it, will be yours truly. Let's go ahead and kick this off. Did Chris join us? Where'd he go?
He's in the restroom.
There he is. First of all, this is what it's like to sit down on stage. That's kind of cool. So thank you guys all for being here. Appreciate the rest of you for being here as well. As I mentioned already, we're talking about gun culture in America, and I mentioned earlier as well that I like diversity, celebrating our Second Amendment rights. So of course, we want to welcome all of you that might have questions concerning this topic to join us, ask these questions here. We've got a great lineup of panelists. And with that, I want to go ahead and start saying one thing. I find it very fun to see the shift in the Second Amendment, the gun culture, which I believe
I have no idea where he was. He was supposed to be on the schedule. So all of you tuned in, I know I titled it that way. He was supposed to be here. God only knows. So we're going to go reassess, head up to the media room where everybody's been hanging out. Earlier with the gun collective, just chit-chatting. So going to head over there, find out where Brandon is. Maybe he's running late. I don't know. I got to go and change the damn title of this. But when I find something out, I'll let you all know. All right, guys. Have a good one.